there's a purpose for filming this, and I'm not sure what it is. I don't know. I just feel like I'm supposed to start filming. Just trying to find some meaning for like a line of work to do in life, and I don't know. I just need to pick up this camera and just do this thing. This is Saturday before Easter. I don't know. I just think there's some meaning to this, and I'm trying to search for that meaning, but I'm just kind of doing it right now.
There is two sides to every story.
Let's get the course open this year, not next year.
They don't want to plant a cow pasture.
I would like to see the golf course come back bigger and better than what it was.
Restaurants, businesses all need the support we can give them as they've had the worst year they've ever had.
That we want the front line open as soon as possible.
A lot of grass being mowed. It's been let go, and some of it's knee deep.
Everybody in town wants the golf course and needs the golf course.
Y'all don't understand caddies, I'm sure.
We're all in agreement that we want this golf course going. And now it's up to you.
And if we lose the greens, there's your golf course. It all gets down to one thing. Do we want to find reasons not to get things done or find ways to get them done? This hurricane showed us a lot about town's pretty resilient. We can get things done if we want to.
The jewel in the town of Black Mountain.
Very in favor of this golf course coming back as soon as it can come back.
Let's get these 18 holes open before the end of July.
When there's such a pent-up demand, because nobody got any place to play around here, especially daily feed play.
I understand that our back nine is going to be open here shortly. I'm not sure what shortly is.
I really want the golf course back.
Are you going to reopen the golf course?
For Western North Carolina tourists, upstate South Carolina tourists, to know that Black Mountain is really open for business when the Black Mountain Golf Course is open for business.
We stand a greater risk of doing more damage than good. And we don't have the equipment or the staff.
The staff has forever been a problem, and lack thereof. We can shave it down.
Yeah, I can do it if y'all send me on.
It doesn't have to be done in one day.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got, for the original proposal, it was talked about mid-July, even the 1st of August. That gives 2.5 months.
But we also lost our growing season for healthy growth.
He's to cut loose some money. I know him by Squirrel. He's the pro over there in the pro shop. He's asking for some money and some help. Two people can't run a golf course. I mean, you can't mow the golf course with just two people. I think some people needs to get involved that really cares about the town of Black Mountain and the golf course.
Now we got 2 full-time staff on maintenance trying to operate that place with 2 guys from First Incorporated who don't even have a driver's license. These are things that are going to have to be addressed if we're going to operate an 18-hole golf course properly, to the way that everyone behind us wants it.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in depleting what we have.
Townwide budget, $19,569,250. 22% is what we're down. It's pretty staggering.
We're not going to devalue anyone that built this course. The Goodsons who donated the land from the dairy farm so we could build the back nine, we credit that history. We embrace it and we appreciate it.
This back property used to be a dairy farm.
This was the old Goodson Dairy Farm.
About early 60s, we wanted to build another 9 holes.
We went from 9 holes to 18 holes.
They wouldn't sell it unless the club agreed to not play golf on Sunday. And they couldn't agree to that. The pro was good friends with the most prominent guy in town. The most prominent guy in town came and talked with the people and talked them into it.
The town came up with the money and purchased when Mr. Goodson either retired or passed away to go ahead and add that back 9 on.
That prominent guy was Billy Graham. Who's going to turn Billy down on what he thinks? Ross was always experimenting with different grass. Ross had completely different ideas about how the game was played, who played, etc.
A lot of people come around Black Mountain wanting to buy a house, and they want to know, do we have a golf course? I want to buy a house on the golf.
This is a local municipal golf course. I mean, those municipal golf courses are a treasure. They really are. I'd like to see the town keep it that way, but to keep it affordable for the local people, the tourists that come in here, they can't believe how cheap it is to play here. They're used to playing $120, $150 even to play at some of these golf courses, whereas our rates are still very, very reasonable.
People that come here for a conference, came to a conference at Blue Ridge or Ridgecrest or whatever, a lot of them came and played the Black Mountain because it's always been a pretty good golf course. It was always something that people usually could enjoy, and for the price they paid, it was a good value.
Price should go up if what you're saying is true, and it should go up significantly if there's no competition. That's how that would work. That's how we would make more money. We're already turning 180, 200 rounds a day on weekends. That's as many rounds as you're going to put on that place, realistically. So you'd have to charge more to make more revenue. You know, the demand is there. The demand has been there.
You don't want to say that tourists have a lot more money, but they do.
Yeah.
Be honest about it. You know, they have more passive income to spend. My proposal was, just to make it $85, $90 at Charleston Municipal Golf Course. It's the #1 municipal golf course in the country. They do more rounds than anybody. Their local fee is $30.
Fort Spencer, kind of live Swananoa, but I'm right on the line, Swananoa Black Mountain, so I consider myself a Swananoa kid and a Black Mountain kid. Went to Owen High School, graduated in 1975. Played football, basketball, ran track and baseball, and I drove school bus my junior and senior year.
I grew up right here on this golf course, Kenny Ford. I was the head football coach at Owen for 29 years, coached and taught for 35. I'm John Knight, resident of Black Mountain, golf coach at Owen High School. Years ago, I played high school, played baseball, basketball, ran track. I had really good coaches. Went to Western, originally played baseball at Western. Stopped playing baseball and then played golf my senior year. I'd always played golf since I was 8 years old, but baseball was the true love.
My name's David Ballard. I was born and raised in Swananoa.
I grew up here. I went to Owen High School, taught at Owen High School also, so I'm a true native. I lived away for a couple of times, but then came back, and so glad I did.
Lived here all my life. Grew up on Pagettown Road.
Got to come back home. My daddy was barber in the middle of town, right forward. Place has been such a big part of me, and when I was able to come back home to be the head coach at Owen, it was huge. Nobody wanted the job. It's good to come back home, and we had a lot of success.
I went to school here, went to school at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where I majored in chemistry. Took a year off and went ahead and traveled. Didn't have much money, so I had the thumb. And the way I got around was not on boats, but on airplanes. Needless to say, it's a little harder now to beat thumbing rides on airplanes. But then I went to England and played rugby and raced motorcycles there. And his daddy says, well, didn't make much money, did you? I said, nope. I said, well, it's time to go to work. So we started the furniture store.
I was at a swimming pool, and the pro from the golf course came over and said, I need some caddies. My buddies and I would never caddied. We were in 6th grade. So we go over and start caddying and decided we liked it. We only had 9 holes at that time. Over the years, I continued to caddy. And when they'd have a special event during the school season, the principal was an avid golfer, and he let 4 of us out early on Wednesday to go caddy because then we had no golf cart. And everything in town shut down. All the businessmen played golf. The golf course was really a gathering place.
I caddied some of the older golfers, and that was a big day and big deal for me because I could make $3 carrying for 18 holes of golf. When you're a kid just growing up, money's money.
It's always good to be up there, and there was always a couple, 2 or 3 golfers that was making sure they, got the caddy they wanted, and there were certain ones that you wanted to be with too. They were, and how well they tipped. I'd say, Kenny, hand me old Yeller. I'd hand him the yellow tee, and he'd use it. He'd say, Kenny, hand me Titty Peak. I'd hand him the pink tee. I had to meet a lot of different people. He looked just like Babe Ruth, and he only had 3 fingers on one hand.
I started playing there in 1974 when I was about 7 or 8 years old. Played all the way through high school, then college at Western Carolina, played golf there.
Started out as a young boy learning how to play golf. I was lucky enough to make the Owen High School golf team, and I got to play there for 4 years on the Owen golf team. Just a great golf course.
The golf course has been a real essential part of my life since the probably early 80s. One of the best things I ever did for myself. I've been part of the Women's Golf Association since the early 80s.
Some money, an emergency fund that they didn't want to tap into.
Keeping in mind that we're not taking money away from other parts of the town, that we're in the rehab that we're doing. Probably got $180,000, so that we're not really putting any other project in jeopardy, whether it's police or fire or public service or whatever.
I'm not sure that's not true. I'm not sure that's true. If we're pulling an additional, the $100,000, for example, that we transferred back in last week, that's $100,000 that we couldn't put towards the senior center, for example, right? If we've tied it up in the golf course.
With that $2.4 million in the fund balance. 2.2. Fund balance is there to go ahead and to help on rainy day situations where we've
Absolutely, which we have pulled a lot of money from else.
And if we go ahead, then so if we have $2.4 million in there now, or we had $1.5 million in there, is there really going to be a difference to the town?
I mean, there's a reason why the previous board set the fund balance at 30%, right? It is for moments like this when we need to tap into the rainy day fund.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a lot of expenses and a lot of priorities. The golf course, I would love to see the golf course open tomorrow. I absolutely would. I think I can speak for most everybody here, maybe everybody here. I'm glad that we are moving forward with the back nine immediately, and I hope that we continue to move forward with the front nine rapidly as well. What's important to remember is that, 2 months ago, it wasn't the golf course that was getting a lot of attention, it was the senior center, right? There are a lot of needs, very important needs, very expensive needs. That senior center is going to cost upwards of $500,000 probably to fix. The rest of Veterans Park, I had met with people at Owen Babe Ruth last week that are very concerned about the bathroom situation, right? That's another very expensive thing. The problem is we do not have the funds right now to fix everything. We just don't. And we have to be strategic in the way we're spending our funds. And so throwing extra $200,000 at this and extra $200,000 at that is going to put us in a situation where we are in trouble.
What is the trouble that you're saying that we would be in?
Where we're out of money.
We're not going to spend $2.4 million, and we got money coming in through this fiscal year.
I can kind of understand that to a point, but it's not like you're not going to get that money back.
Fundraisers in this town rely on the golf course. There's over $100,000 missing the VFW tournament, Owen Booster tournament. Everybody can't make money doing bake sales. It's just not there. It happens at the golf course. We raise $10,000 to $15,000 charities every tournament.
So we always had money in the Men's Golf Association to help out the kids however they needed it, even if we had to dig them in their own pockets.
I know one lady that used to play golf over there. She would always stroke a check for $5,000 or $10,000 to be the first dollar in the pot. I guess all that's going away unless we grab this and get it going.
The Heart Fund Drive spent a lot with the school.
When Kenny became football coach, he's the one that started the War Horse Open, and it's always been a real fun, successful fundraising thing for the football team.
It is the best time, the best tournament, the best everything, food, everything. There's nicer golf courses or stuff like that, but it's having a great time and enjoying yourself. It's no other golf tournament like the War Horse. And you don't have to go out and sell it, it sells itself.
Every penny goes to football. Just it's amazing what things as a school can't cover. So this is the way for us to have a level playing field. The extra things for kids like shorts and t-shirts, tournament players.
Coach Williams is still coaching.
Congratulations on your third national championship. We got 3, because I got these guys with me, and that's all I care about right now, my guys.
And I said, Coach, Kenny want to know if you can play in the War Horse this year. And he said, when is it? And I said, it's the last Friday in July. I cannot think of anything. And he said, well, let me check with my wife. I told him I couldn't think of anything. And you think that'd be anything. And she looked at him and she said, the only thing I could think of, that's our anniversary. So I said, Coach, I will see you later. And he said, no, if I've got to take this beating from Wanda, you want to take it with me too. She worked it out to where he could come play in the War Horse, met her, and they went out on their anniversary. Doherty first signed with Cleveland, And season didn't start to kind of late October. He would come down on Friday nights. This is kind of 14 he got there. And he would run chains for the football team.
Brad Johnson went to Super Bowl. Always done stuff for here and never forgot. He still doesn't. And yeah, he's missed very few.
It's been absolutely crucial to our program. The cost of golf. Anybody who plays golf knows it really costs. That's why it's been so good. They've always allowed us to practice and play here. If they charged, golf would have gone away. I mean, it's too expensive. And so the fundraisers have allowed me to outfit every kid. To date, I think over $38,000 that we've given in scholarships since 2014.
We got young kids coming out through the high school, and it was mentioned last night at the Owen High School Awards banquet. We had a kid that ended up in 3rd place in the state. And where are they going to practice? Golf coach was there, John Knight, super guy, super golfer, and he's brought kids in the valley a long way. We learned last night he's going to retire from it. He's having to take the kids to Marion Lake Club, wherever he can find a place for them to practice. Some of the kids don't even have driving license, so they got to catch a ride, or somebody's got to get them to the golf course to practice.
It was a lot of travel this time. That's the most we've ever traveled by far. And our practices are usually 2.5 hours. You put 2.5 hours with the travel attached to it, it was a big deal.
We're going to do something. When this golf course is open, we're going to put something on.
With all due respect, hopefully we do not face another Hurricane Helene, but we do not know that there won't be other serious weather events. And I'm not interested in depleting what we have.
No one is saying depleting what we have, saying drawing down on it. As far as the senior citizen goes, have you been in there to look at the basement?
Look, what I see.
What I would like to see would be for us to go ahead and have somebody, a structural engineer, go in there and tell us exactly what we need.
And that's in the process of happening, right?
Another 5 months. Hope not. It could take that long. So, I just don't understand why we can't get a structural engineer, pay them, go in there, tell us what we got to do, and then we would know. Instead of speculating, could it be 100,000? Could it be 500? Could it be $1 million? Then we would know.
But we begin tonight with the spiraling emergency after Hurricane Helene, the mounting death toll, at least 182 lives lost, hundreds still unaccounted for.
The 3rd deadliest hurricane to hit the United States in the last 50 years. In North Carolina, the governor just told Kate that the storm wiped entire towns off the map.
Told that this may not just take weeks, but years for people to rebuild. People going back to the places where they worked, saying they may not have a job to go back to. People are dealing with power outages. They don't have running water. Internet and cell service are also out.
In Hurricane Helene's wake, devastation and destruction stretching as far as the eye can see.
The magnitude of force of this.
It's unbelievable what happened.
And it was really devastating. Trees falling on cars, houses.
Never experienced anything like it in my life.
But my neighbor's backyard that joins my grass looked like a war zone.
I don't believe you realize what happened. It's just unbelievable.
Well, first of all, to the people of Black Mountain, I love you, and I've been praying for you, especially after last year with the hurricane coming through. And it breaks my heart to see this happen to a place that I love.
As tragic as it was, the community really stepped up.
Watching people help each other come together has been really, really inspirational. And I felt like it brought us all actually closer together.
Well, our men in the police department and the fire department did just a superb job. Fire department, and they continued to do a good job all week long. We pulled together. We're a community. We did good, and they did good.
I have rode around the golf course, but I don't think it's something that we can't get fixed.
Fortunately, the actual damage from Helene on the golf course was really minimal.
The backside wasn't hurt that much. It took out a lot of the bridges, but other than that, it wasn't hurt that much, other than trees down and...
It had a lot of trees down. As far as damage to the course, there was, nothing substantial.
Now, the front side, there's a lot of damage, especially on 4 and 5, and the bridges are out on the front side.
To me, it's an absolute shame
to let this golf course deteriorate. And I know Helene was the big culprit. Here it is, 8 months afterwards. We seem to be a little slow in getting things back in order.
Golf course has been pretty decent the last 4 or 5 years. All of a sudden they started not maintaining creek banks, and it just became kind of an eyesore because you're having to hit over weeds and trees growing up out of creek banks, and just over the trees and the stuff that had grown up in the, almost like in the middle of the fairway. It was crazy. You walk over there, it's still there.
We've got to get on these greens or else we're going to lose them.
They just need to get over and start mowing, hire the people to run the machines, get the machines, go out, beg, borrow, steal, whatever you can do. The grass needs to be cut. The greens need a lot of work. Just letting greens go. You go over there and walk around them, they're not going to be puttable for quite a while. Aerate them, seed them, sand, put sand on them, let them back out. I mean, they can be saved, but it's going to take quite a bit of effort.
Get that done. Get that done. It may not be 100% the way we want it right now, but at least that'll bridge us over until we have a chance to put it back.
The equipment, at least they're working on it. They got to get more people out there in the short term, because there's just a lot of grass to be mowed. If you got to pay good money, you got to have greens that are in pretty puttable condition. They don't have to be Augusta National by any stretch of imagination, but fairways,
People don't come to play golf because of the fairways. If we have good greens like we've always had, Jerry's done a wonderful job over the years of keeping these greens up. Back when Ross Taylor was the pro there for years and years, he was just fabulous at having greens, and that's why people love to come here.
It's been hard to watch nothing going on right now, but it's changing. I've noticed in the last week.
Where it did have some damage is on the golf course maintenance shed.
Maintenance barn, where all the equipment was kept. Ruined all the equipment, flooded the whole building. Since they lost the equipment, they couldn't do anything. Nobody in the area had any equipment. It's been shut down since Helene.
Into the electrics. That's where it really screws the machines up, because by the time you have to go back in and replace most of that stuff, you can just about buy them a new piece of equipment for the same amount.
They've got some loaner equipment in there, and they're working very hard trying to get it back in shape to get it open. I've noticed they've repaired the bridges. It is a long process, but it looks like they're headed the right direction.
Most of the board and also the town manager, Brent and Jerry, the 2 employees of the golf course.
I mean, to me, the goal is to get 18 holes open. We're already working with FEMA on small projects to try to get these bridges replaced on the front 9.
They're in favor of getting that front 9 open, realizing that it's going to take more time than what the community wants. But, they're the ones that I guess you would call the experts at it.
But the most important thing is the greens, and you've already said that the green wouldn't be a problem.
Yes, like I said, I'm okay.
We can get the greens back to where they normally would be by the 1st of July.
No, not by the 1st of July. I've talked with several other superintendents, past superintendents, and they're all like, you need to shoot for safely March, April. And like I said, that's people that has far greater knowledge than I have. To be safe and not lose greens or damage greens beyond the point, I would suggest spring. We can work on it through the season, but like I said, once we start getting into higher temperatures, lower humidity, we stand a great risk of damaging the greens. One of the tools we lost was our reel grinder. Which is very, very important. So with top dressing, I need to be able to grind reels almost daily. We don't have that option.
But we have that option with the city municipal.
Asheville Country Club told us that we could use theirs occasionally. It's not going to be a thing where we can take them over daily. They grind our reels on the reel grinder.
That machine costs how much?
About $80,000 for a new one. We can get to use one for about half that.
For a fairway mower is $100,000. Rough mower is over $100,000. And we need multiples of these. That's why we lease the equipment. Greens mower, $57,000. Spray rig, $70,000.
The fact that we're getting new equipment in, new leased equipment, is big.
Town didn't even know they had insurance on their equipment that covered flood. They have since found out. That picture is looking a lot better. They said they were going to be able to get 4 pieces of equipment. From that standpoint, things are looking up.
We've also spoken with the insurance company, and the lease we've been paying since September, we will be getting reimbursed for that money.
I don't know exactly how many pieces of equipment they had. I would say probably 15 mowers, and they all got destroyed.
But, it takes people. You got to have people running those machines. Get some people, even more than what they had for a while.
And it would be easier if we had more staff that had knowledge of how to run irrigation, how to fix leaks when they pop up on a daily basis. had us sprayed. None of them have herbicide license, much less driver's license. You know, I mean, it's just,
I just wish that we would be addressing some of these things earlier.
we've been trying to address these things for years.
If the golf course has a mandate from the town board to say, let's get this thing open, then you would proceed on and get these people. And you may have to raise the rates. We may have to raise the rates that we're no doubt, compensate for the help that we got to get. So we've got this extra money that we could go ahead and buy that. If we wanted to, we could buy it tomorrow.
If we have a place to put it and work on equipment. But there's a lot of factors that
a lot of moving parts here. But the main thing is to get these parts in these boxes checked. This thing about having to go to FEMA to try to get a building, well, that's fine. But 3 containers, 2 to store the equipment, 1 to set up as a makeshift shop.
That comes with its own issues, fire code as well.
A fire code.
If you're storing equipment with gas in it in metal containers, that's an issue.
But then the insurmountable issue?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Let's don't try to find reasons not to do it. Let's try to find ways to do it. That's what I've been trying to come up with for a couple of months now. Let's find ways to do this.
So if you put a grill grinder inside of a shipping container, you want to have HVAC, smart ventilation, because metal shavings going in there, you're in a confined space. It was hard enough within our shop. And Josh has been in our shop before, trying to eat lunch, and you're inhaling metal dust, which is a liability. Like I said, the back 9 is within a few weeks away of being opened. I still think it would be our best bet. Work towards the front, do it safely, do it smart.
You know, the grass does not stop growing in June 1st.
But we're also not mowing your yard either. We're mowing heights that we're asking grass not to be the main thing to. You know, you mow your yard at 3 inches. You know, you can go weeks without water. We can go 2 days without water, just, you know, hypothetically, and lose a $75,000 green. I mean, if we got the call and said, you want this thing open in 2 weeks, we can shave it down, but then it's going to cost a lot more to get everything back healthy.
You get over there and work like Bud Adams did, worked his ass off. That's what it takes. In the early 90s, for the first time, Black Mountain, we had a PGA pro doing the golf course, a golf superintendent who he loved golf, took pride in what he did. When they hired those two, Black Mountain in a little bit of a crisis as a golf course then, not like it is now. Bud Adams from Old Fort, who was our superintendent, and David Ballard, who was the PGA pro.
Became a PGA member, went to PGA school. I did 4 years as an assistant pro at Country Club in Asheville. Took a head pro job at High Vista Country Club. Black Mountain job came available, and I always returned home and be with the people I knew and people I liked. And I took over as PGA pro there, as well as general manager back in 1994. I worked there for 17 years. Very enjoyable. Love the golf course, love the people.
They really got the golf course up and going, and Black Mountain was one of the nicest municipal golf courses in the state. And we had, you know, probably 100 in-town members, had 250 out-of-town members who had to pay more. The in-towners got a break because they paid taxes here and all that. But anyway, we had 250 out-of-towners plus a waiting list. Now the golf course has got about 35 members when the storm hit. We had a men's association that we started. We borrowed $25,000 from the town and built what is now the dining room for the Green Tea Grill.
Bud was the best thing ever happened to this golf course. He took care of it. He was not afraid of work, and he wanted people to be proud of it. And we were. This is the way I always envisioned this golf course to be. And it was just a treat.
Bud Adams was a legend. This place, they called it Black Rock because it was just so hard. There's no grass anywhere or anything like that. And they brought Bud Adams up here. And I mean, he changed everything. He started cutting out a lot of pines that was killing the greens. And they got on him for watering so much. But it made Bud got this place in shape. And I mean, he had a crew that there was really 3 greenskeepers on that working staff. I mean, they were tight.
Pro shop was down on number 5. It's since been torn down, but it was a building that was just full of old golf course maintenance equipment, mowers, that kind of stuff, you know, just broken down in there. Well, then 2 months, Bud gone in there and he'd fixed about every one of them, or took 2 and made 1 good one out of it or whatever. In probably 3 months, he just made a big difference in the golf course, just the way the mowing patterns and everything that we'd never had done before. They started looking like it was a real golf course, and you know, the longer he was there, the better it got. He was a workaholic, and he loved golf. And David, he and David worked side by side, and they were both interested in keeping the golf course at a high level. And that was when we were in our heyday.
They'd pack those coolers full and daggone have those carts ready to go. And then Bud would start making up holes. They got finished at the end of the day. They'd be here at 6 a.m. mowing, and then their day was over with at 2.
Bud Adams died. He was over there daylight to dark. He loved to play golf. He'd work all day, play golf in the afternoons, and then after he finished playing golf, he'd go back down to the maintenance shed and sharpen reels and, do whatever. He just did whatever needed to be done. He was just a guy that could just about do anything.
For some reason, this town's always been very reluctant to spend any money. We used to have work days. We'd barbecue a pig or fry a fish, something. People came to work on Saturday, but a lot of times didn't have the equipment like today. And people used to turn out by the droves. And we had a no work, no play, no eat. The town put the quietus to it.
I've offered when things started happening just to do our part, and we wanted to do everything we could, and we kind of told, well, you can't, for insurance purposes, we're not allowed to get out here, cut trees and weed eat and all this sort of stuff. Now, at this point, that was early on because we wanted to stay ahead of things. Within the last week, I've got permission where we can come out here and do some stuff.
Happy to have volunteers on the course. I think we would welcome that. We just need to do it in an organized way and make sure folks are aware of the ramifications. If you get hurt as a volunteer, we do not cover you.
We're in the process. I've got guys lined up next weekend. We're gonna paint the building here, fix it up, and do some signage.
The fact that the course got hit as badly as it did, it needs repair, and there's a coalition of townsfolk, not all of them are golfers, many of them are, that have come together, met each other for the first time, that really want to commit to offer our time, our labor, to get this going and to keep it going.
There's a limited budget here at your municipal course. What they do with what they have is, I appreciate very much.
I know that they have a struggle sometimes with labor force, but there are volunteers around here that can be taught how to rake sand traps, or taught how to weed eat, or taught how to mow, and there's...
what could we do to help with change or affect this? There was a group of, I'm going to say there were 20, took a day off from whatever they were doing. We put in a good 8 to 10 hour day, just trimming, improving sand traps, improving golf cart paths.
The rest of the town may be a little bit surprised about what we can do.
Not as someone of this board, not from the authority of this board, but as a citizen, I'm going to be working with different folks to set up a golf oversight committee. Had we gone ahead and had a commission like that, we could have been dealing with the golf course last October, dealing with the pump, dealing with all the stuff that went wrong. We were discovered this inland marine policy that we had. We could have that lease equipment paid for and a new lease and all the new equipment here and opened up the course. True. Unfortunately, it was not done. Not true. Anybody else got anything you want to say?
Honest men can disagree about that.
Well, honest men can disagree.
Absolutely.
And exactly. We just simply not watching what we were doing. We could have
Completely incorrect.
rebuild easily.
Nope.
Easily we could have it done.
Nothing's been easy in the last.
Oh yeah. You think you make everything sound so simple.
Yeah.
Everything's just so simple.
If you ever talked to anybody that goes, they have the deals and pumps. I did. And
So did Jerry.
But I'm talking about basic pumps.
So did Jerry.
He had it rewired. But here again, we do sorry, y'all.
There's no question it has an economic impact on our valley. Never have our stores, restaurants, galleries needed support more than right now. Helene, it's really been devastating for our economy, and we need a good year to make some of that up. It's going to hurt with the golf course not being in shape.
Here after the storm, it's been difficult. It's been 8 months that the golf course has been closed. I opened back up the first week of November. I would not be here if the community had not carried me through.
If the course is open, you've got a revenue stream from a business standpoint. Why don't we get the revenue stream going?
This revenue stream was last year $129,000. That's what it made, golf course. Before that, I think it was about $10,000 the previous year. And before that, I think it was in the red.
To me, it's the main attraction of Black Mountain. I mean, it was famous for having the longest hole in the world at one time. Number 17 is a 747-yard par 6. People came there just to play that. It's a good attraction.
People always, where are you from? I'm a little town close to Asheville, North Carolina. Black Mountain. Oh, Black Mountain. It was surprising to me how many of them mentioned the golf course, especially on 16, which is par 6. And it was the only one in the world at the time. I like 16 so much I built a house on. People would pay just to go play the 16th hole.
When people go into the Chamber of Commerce, Carl Bartlett, he works there, and he says, first of all, people are looking for shops and restaurants. That's the number one thing they ask for. But the number 3 thing they ask for is about the golf course. When you've got that many people coming here, Bubba Watson, who won the Masters, he's played up here a couple of times.
I volunteer every Friday afternoon at the Chamber of Commerce Visitor Center, and we've seen a tremendous drop in folks coming to visit the area.
And we had a lot of players from Asheville, from Oregon, Marion, Opal, all around. It was a big deal.
Folks out of state, the first thing they ask, if there's a man involved in it, is there a golf course close by? The course means a lot. And it brings the wives into town. When the men are over there playing golf, the wives are down there shopping and eating in our restaurants we have in town.
This golf course is an amenity that very few small towns, even large towns, have. It means a lot to me to keep it going, not just for me personally, but for the town, for the asset that it is, and for the history that it has been to so many of us who played here or experienced fundraising tournaments here for multiple good causes, enjoying the fringe benefits that it provides the town. Yeah, I mean, the draw that it has is probably limitless, but I have friends from Spartanburg that come up here and play. I have friends from Raleigh and Greensboro, and those are just my friends. Once word gets out, it's affordable, it's in good shape, it's maintained well, just an enjoyable golf course. It's a fair golf course. It's exposure that the town of Black Mountain has. It's just a great tourism attraction right here in literally our own backyard. We just need to steward that and not let it sit around for another 6 months. We need to get it open.
I meet people from all over, and the tourists that come, and the women's group, and we've gotten quite a few new members the last 5-6 years that have moved in here from other places, and one of the reasons they come is the golf course.
Nothing would say to the community and the state and the whole southeast of the U.S. that, hey, Black Mountain's open again because the golf course is back open again. All 18 holes. It does have a significant financial impact on this town that's probably really hard to get a handle on and really measure that. But without that, the merchants are going to suffer, the hotels are going to suffer.
Invest money. I mean, it takes investment to do it, but I mean, I think the long-term benefits would be really good.
It made $125,000, and yet at the same time paid
That's correct.
for all this lease equipment, all this personnel that you would hire. So all those were taken care of.
And we're going to have to do that again.
Exactly, but that's what the golf course is there for, is to generate money, and it can generate money. Especially with the fact when you look that Broadmoor's down, it won't ever be open.
That's correct.
When you look at Muni, that's only half, if they even get half the revenue they did last year. And we made $130,000 or $125,000 competing with those two entities, and now they're not there.
Yes, I mean, we're going to make money, but you're limited in how many rounds you can put out there a day.
You, our leaders, directing our management, need to come forth with a plan, not only to save this golf course, but to put it in a position to become a premier daily fee golf destination. You need to roll up your sleeves and work outside the comfort of a monthly meeting. You need to seek guidance of experts in the field, the CGA, USGA, and other successful muni operators.
So it's not a drain. The town needs the revenue, the merchants need the traffic.
It may lose money, but there's a lot of businesses that do real well with what they call a loss leader, because it brings people into the area, and though the course itself may not make money for the town, the course brings people who give businesses in the town their money.
If FEMA has committed to giving the town whatever millions of dollars, and they have committed, when that money comes in, I don't know. There's no reason that we can't go ahead and get these things taken care of. But the golf course has got to have their allotment before the town takes the rest of the money and spends it throughout the town.
It's certainly an asset to this community, especially with Black Mountain being so popular.
The other thing that we really appreciate about Black Mountain is there's a tremendous community involvement. And we found that to be true no matter who we encountered or what activities we were involved in.
When I came up, this was in the 70s, I was still the neighborhood kid. I stayed at his house. I stayed at Stan Turner's house and Mike Rains's and these guys that I went to school with, played ball with, all that stuff. And I always was poor. And I really enjoyed that. And Kenny's dad cut my hair. First time I ever went, Mr. Ford, I want like a little bit off the sides. He said, "Bookie, I'm gonna cut your hair how I want to cut it." And that was good. And even when I didn't need a haircut, I would go in there on Saturdays, so I just go in there and sit and talk to him and Mike Harris and hang out.
You meet people on a golf course, particularly a public golf course, that are rather remarkable. And the friendships that you form are intertwined and interconnected with this wonderful mosaic of volunteerism and appreciation.
What a community. Lots of camaraderie, stories, the real community of pulling together on common goals.
But Black Mountain Golf Course has meant so much to me in my life. I am now a PGA golf professional, and had it not been for the Black Mountain Golf Course, I never would have gotten into the game. I would have never taken this career path and really had the opportunity to touch lives. It's very unusual for people to have a job that they really truly love and in a game that they love. Most people are working because they want to get to retirement and then they want to be done. But for me, it's a love of teaching and helping people. And I owe it all to Black Mountain. I could never have done it without the Black Mountain Golf Course.
Well, you know, the remarkable thing about Black Mountain Golf Course is it contributes so integrally to the community. And it's such an attribute for that reason. Not only is it a great attraction for people coming here playing golf, but it creates this opportunity for community. That's what golf does. It's a community of common interests that often lead down roads and pathways that you never even imagined before.
Love it so much that years ago, I wrote my first Christian book, Golf Is My Life, Glorifying God Through the Game. And if you read that book, literally half of the book are stories from the Black Mountain Golf Course. And then it later led to me becoming a senior editor for Golf Tips magazine. Had a Christian feature called Fairways to Heaven, One Shot at a Time. Experiences I had with Roy Williams in high school, that was really neat. He taught me a lot about the rules of golf.
That was a big part. That barbershop was a big part. He had a sign there, feed the horses. Haircuts went up during football season. You know, man would hand him a $20 bill, expecting change, and Dad goes, "Thanks for feeding the horses." Just walk. Wouldn't get him any change back.
Yeah.
We used it to feed pre-game meal and to keep doing stuff to help these kids. And the folks are there if you need them. Just gotta ask.
I was very fortunate to be at a time where I would show up at the golf course. We didn't have a driving range, and you know, David Ballard would be there, and Scott Tuttle, and Jim Davis, and Tim Maxwell, and myself, and Mark Merritt, and my brother Michael Decker, and we would go out and play golf all day long. That was our playground, and we had a fantastic golf team. Our high school golf team was the first team at Charles D. Owen High School to go on and win the sections. We actually were the first team to compete in the state tournament. I was able to go to the state tournament 3 years in a row, and because of the experiences I had in the Black Mountain Golf Course, to be the first person from Charles D. Owen High School to win the sectionals. And you know, that's something I take a lot of pride in, because we didn't have like an organized driving range where we were getting clinics and stuff like that, like the kids do nowadays. There's so much technology out there, and the game is in a point right now where you can, you know, pull out your cell phone and look at your swing and improve your game. We didn't have any of that. We just had the golf course. And if it wasn't for the Black Mountain Golf Course, I would have never learned how to play this great game.
When I see somebody now that's our age, I always speak, and I see somebody in the store and I just say, "Hey, how you doing?" because if I don't see anything, they'll see Kenny and they'll say, hey, I saw Porter that day. He didn't even speak to me. So I just speak to everybody.
There were so many rumors going around town and social media posts, and we're going to do this. We're going to do this to the golf course. The golf course needs to be this. You know, and what I wanted was something definitive from the town saying, hey, this is a golf course. We're going to keep it a golf course. We're not going to make 9 holes. We're going to keep it 18, and we're going to make it better than it was before. Put people's minds at ease, because there's so many people that were, and then that caused all the divisiveness. You know, I want a park. I want to, you know, this and that. You know, this is a golf course. The town of Black Mountain has plenty of outside recreational spaces and dog parks and trails and bikes, but this is a golf course, and this is what it was made for. What people come here to this town to do.
The course did a pretty good job of getting it cleaned up. I do feel the town is moving forward to get it back open. Done a lot of work to get this back now open.
How it feels to get open and back in business. It's actually just a great relief. It's been such a stressful 8 months since the storm, but everything's come together, and I think it's great for the community to see some return to normalcy. Well, the pro shop was really damaged after the storm. Had a lot of water. Luckily, I have some skills where I can put things back the way they need to be, and we use this as an opportunity to remodel the pro shop after a lot of years of it needing it. And we're able to do it significantly cheaper than we could have had the source to eat out somewhere. With the town being in the financial shape we're in at the moment, it made a lot of sense to let us do that in-house. So that's what I spent the last really 6 months doing. My team has worked really hard in the last 9 months trying to get the golf course back to somewhat where it was at last year. And golf course means a lot to me. Man, I've been here for 30 years. It's my life. Seeing it open is great, and hopefully we can move forward to getting the front 9 open. And it's been a lot of work, 7 months without any equipment, 8 months without any irrigation. It has been a lot of work, but I got to give it to my guys and everything. They've put in the time and the effort to get it to where it's at right now. It's with anything, there's hurdles jump through to do that in the legal fashion. Pulling permits, people working the stream, they still have to respect the stream and pull on the old permits. So it's just going to take a little bit of time, but I think that's okay. And if we can generate some cash flow using this back 9 right now, it's going to alleviate some pressure on council as far as decisions they have to make money-wise.
The Black Mountain Golf Course means so much to so many people. It's not only a place for people to recreate, but it is a beautiful way to have people of all ages come out and enjoy this space. So for us to be able to preserve it and keep it open and reopen it after the storm means a lot to me, as it means to so many other people. It has been slow, and it's been a challenge for sure, and I know that people would love to see it open sooner, but I think that the fact that we can get this back 9 open today and continue working towards the front 9 hopefully more swiftly now that we have some momentum going, I think will be a great thing. Black Mountain Golf Course is a beautiful place. It really is a gem here in the town.
3T Grill is a place of people coming together and sharing stories, sharing their lives. I never knew it would mean that to me when I came here 5 years ago. Now I'm finding it hard to even think about leaving. So looking forward to selling beer and hot dogs again. That's my bread and butter. Looking forward to the whole course getting back open again.
I always look at golf as a way to have friendships, memories, laughter, a few cold beers here and there. It's just a lifetime of good people and good memories.
And I realize that all of the experiences I've had starting at the Black Mountain Golf Course and to where I am now, I've pretty much dedicated now for the rest of my life. I'm 58 now, and for the remainder of my life, I'm going to use the game of golf to glorify God.
It means everything. That's where I learned to play golf, and all my friends, family play golf up there. It's just a social events, golf tournaments, everything. We had a lot of good times up there.
And that gang was strong. It was strong. I mean, there was a group of men in here that they're the ones that really built this place on this end. This course has been a big part of me. It still is. I can't imagine going anywhere else.
I never forget on Thursdays, his dad would cook biscuits and chicken, and we'd sit up in Cox on the top of the roof and watch the JV game. And I never missed a Thursday home JV game because his dad would make it biscuits.
You can go to the most beautiful place in the world, but if the people aren't friendly, you don't want to live there. You can go back to any golf course. I've been to some nice golf courses, but if people are not nice and not welcoming, you don't feel like you have a good experience. A few things have changed and added on to and stuff, but the course itself has kind of remained intact. And to me, that's what I love about it. People look at the golf course and the greens and the greenskeeper, Jerry, does a great job and Brent does a good job, but the core of the golf course never has changed. The golf course is a reflection of Black Mountain. These people that move here, they move here, yeah, for the scenery, the views and the location and stuff like that, but ultimately people come here for the people.
I want to first just say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. A couple months ago, back at school, I was in a funk, not really feeling fulfilled with my everyday at school. And when I got here this summer, I was like, I want to do something. I want to film something. I just want to do something creative. I saw the conditions of the golf course. I saw how much it meant to you guys. And I was like, there needs to be something done on this. Black Mountain means so much to me. I never thought the golf course would mean that much to me. Now it means an incredible amount to me just because the people I know and love in this town, it means so much to y'all. And I just hope I was able to do something to bring some light and positivity towards the situation after the year everyone's had here. Knox, without you, man, I couldn't have done this. We spent probably 150, 200 hours, 12, 13 day hours, just 9 in the morning to midnight at night, just editing this thing. We definitely got heated at each other at times, but without you, I couldn't have gotten where I am now. And just, I want to thank my mom and my dad, and I want to thank Chip just for supporting me my whole life. The influence I've had from y'all through y'all's hard work, to seeing y'all's everyday grind and just going to work 9 to 5. I salute that to y'all, and it's instilled me to work hard, have a dream to do something outside the norm. That dream started when I met Lynn Neihart at Owen High School back in 9th grade. I was a little piece of crap back then. Was not as grateful as a guy as I am now, but Mr. Neihart taught me the ropes of theater, film, acting, everything. And without Mr. Neihart, I would have never even thought about picking up camera, never gone on stage and auditioned for anything. Mr. Neihart has meant more to me as a teacher than any teacher I've had at my time at Western or any of my years at Owen. And I'm just incredibly thankful for you, Mr. Neihart. I want to thank Dawn Rookie, principal, for putting this on. Way long before Dawn was principal, she was family friend. Thank you for putting this on for us. I want to thank Nolan Swope for capturing some awesome drone footage. Nolan's got a bright future. Documentary would not have looked good without the drone footage that we were able to get from Nolan. I want to thank Fred McCormick from the Valley Echo for letting us use pictures and write an article on us. That just means a lot to me and means a lot to Knox and to our families. I just want to thank, everyone involved in the interviews, whether you're playing golf in the video or whether you're talking about the golf just for a few minutes or for a very long time throughout the whole documentary. I just want to thank each and every one of you. This town means so much to me. I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but thank you guys. Without any of y'all in this town, it would not be possible.